Yo guys, welcome back to Cryptoria. Today I'm going to be covering BTC, but before I do, I'd appreciate if you like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications so you know when I upload. And with that being said, let's get into this video. So guys, how's everyone doing? As everyone knows, BTC and all other markets at the moment is taking such a toll with everything pretty much bleeding at the moment. So as you guys can see, I've jumped straight to Bitcoin market cap. I'm not going to really explain what Bitcoin is. I'm just going to be explaining the news that has caused this sort of crash. So I will be explaining that. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin is actually underneath that $32,000 mark, currently actually down 2.96%. As you guys can see, it's still a quite a high market cap at around 611 billion market cap. As you guys can see, that's down as well. So as you guys can see, the circulating volume is still 47 billion. So as you guys can see, that's actually up 50%. So I will be jumping straight onto this news. So I did pick up this article that I found on Financial Times saying China steps up crackdown on Bitcoin mining industry. So China's largest Bitcoin producing provinces have intensified a crackdown on cryptocurrency mining in the latest sign of global authorities are toughening for the stance of rapidly growing digital asset markets. The country's Bitcoin mining operations, the power-hungry process of computational puzzle solving that creates new units of the virtual currency, have been in retreat since May, when government confirmed a ban on cryptocurrency transactions and warned of the risk of using them payments. Bitcoin prices plunged after announcing and currently trading around $30,000 below April peak of almost 65,000. So as you guys can see, there has been a crash due to all this stuff that's happening in China in terms of their ban in crypto mining. I will leave this article below. It just gives you an indication of what's actually happened. So that is pretty much the biggest news that's actually happened in the last couple of weeks, or pretty much in the last week of what has actually happened. So I will be giving you now the full breakdown of my chart analysis before I jump over to a full analysis on Bitcoin. As you guys can see at the top of CoinMarketCap, as you guys can see, Bitcoin still has a massive dominance of 45.4%. So Intel, if it does drop, a lot of altcoins drop as well, just because of the amount of dominance Bitcoin has. As you guys can see, it's just shy of that 50%, so it's quite huge in terms of what it does. So as you guys can see, I have jumped onto the monthly. As you guys can see, there was that peak around that $65,000 mark, and as you guys can see from the low around that March 20th, around that $3,700, it done a massive bull run all the way down to $65,000. So as you guys can see, it has actually dropped quite a bit now since then till now. It's around a 55% drop since then. 55% drop, that's pretty huge. If anything, this probably might be a bear market, but that's just my opinion. A lot of people think this is just a massive correction, but if in order to correction to happen, as you guys can see, bullish candles all the way, a massive correction will be around here, that level, as you guys see, when the proper bull market happens. That's around $12,000. So if people think that's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. That's another probably another, let's see, that's another 60% drop. So from there to there is around 110% drop. So that's just a monthly. As you guys can see, there was that resistance formed around that $60,000. Going down to the weekly, as you guys can see, there is a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern forming as well. If you drop down to the daily, in fact, you can probably see it better if you squeeze out. So as you guys can see, there's that head and shoulder pattern forming. If anything, it's going to be completing around here. So if it does break below that, you could see another correction happening. So from around where the peak was to around the base of the head and shoulder, as you guys can see, another 50%. So there could be another 50% drop again to around that region, around that $16,000 mark. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of different sort of way of looking around it. So another way as well that you can see is happening as well, as you guys can see, this trend is following. What it might do is actually see, as you guys can see, that head and shoulder pattern clearly forming on that weekly as well. What it might do, in fact, from this place onward, is either going to be a little bit of a dip, go back, either not obeying, more like not even respecting the head and shoulder pattern. If it does, you can see that drop happening around that mid 20 region. So again, that's just one way of looking at it, but you clearly see that is a clear head and shoulder pattern as well, and you can see that the resistance formed here. There's loads of rejections around that $60,000 mark. So there is a lot of way to look around it, but at the moment, as you guys can see, very bearish, very bearish, but it does seem to be respecting this level of support quite well. So if I mark it out here, that level of support, it seems to be a very strong level of support around that $30,000 mark, between $30,000 and $32,000. It has been respecting that quite a while, since the start of the year, to be honest. Since that start of the year, it did have that surge around that to that past that $40,000, then did come back, create a lot of supports. As you guys can see, pretty much more than a triple bottom over here, and it did surge up all the way to that new time high, and then it did come back, but it has been respecting this level again and again. So either, as you guys can see, it has been ranging as well. If you drop down to the 4 hour, so if I just remove all this again and see this, you can see here between the ranges around here and here as well, it has been ranging for a while, since around 19th of May, so mid-May until present has been ranging. As you guys can see, it's failing to break above that $42,000 for a while, and it's failing to break below that $30,000 for a while, well, around $31,000. So at the moment, you can't, well, I'm no expert, and I don't think anyone is expert in telling where it's going to happen, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought it's going to go past that $65,000 mark after this range. But as you guys can see, he's been stuck in this range for over a month, and it's pretty big range, especially if you guys know after a range what would like to happen. It will be a big explosion to the upside or a big explosion to the downside. So that is two ways of looking at it. As you guys can see, there's a massive range. There has been a little bit of, since the peak, as you guys can see, there was a massive drop. It has been ranging, so you just need to be aware of where this is actually going to be going. So in terms of what I think, there's either been going to be or respect this head and shoulder pattern and drop further down to around the mid 20 areas before creating level of supports again, going back up to these, in between these ranges, they're going back up towards the all-time high, or it's just going to be plummeting down to around the 20,000 to around the mid, between the mid to $10,000 area. But that's just my opinion, guys. As I said, make sure you guys always see what this is. It's never going to be a bullish all the way. As you guys can see, as I already told you guys, from here you can see it has been bullish for since nearly basically, yeah, since around 20 July last year. Bullish every single month until now. As you guys can see, all this has been wicked out, dropping over 50% in profits. So hopefully, guys, you have been taking profits in terms of Bitcoin and altcoins as well, as I did mention the Bitcoin dominance. Hopefully you guys have been taking profits all the way until even now. Hopefully, if you didn't, you hopefully did get in early around here, so you are still in profit. But as I always say, make sure you guys take profit, at least your initial deposit as well. So that is why I think that is just an opinion of what Bitcoin is heading toward. But as I always know, Bitcoin will be doing well in the future, as everything it will do in crypto space, because it is all technology at the end of the day. That's what everyone's going towards. So that's what I think, guys. Just let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this breakdown gives you a bit of an indication of where I think Bitcoin's be heading, and where hopefully it will be heading towards in terms of long-term targets and short-term targets. But apart from that, make sure you guys smash the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you turn on bell notification for all future videos. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video.